something just happened in space that NASA doesn't want to talk about. The European Space Agency has just released photos of the mysterious interstellar object 3I Atlas, but within hours, NASA went completely silent. No data, no statements, nothing. In this video, we'll uncover the shocking details behind those images, why NASA suddenly went dark, and what scientists think this object might really be. Because what's heading toward our solar system right now isn't behaving like anything we've ever seen before. The object was designated 3I Atlas. It was only the third interstellar object ever confirmed to have entered our solar system. But within hours of the ESA announcement, astronomers began to notice something even stranger. While European data streams continued to flow openly, NASA's channels went silent. Their public servers stopped updating. Their scheduled briefings were postponed without explanation. For the first time in years, the world's most powerful space agency had gone dark. At first, it looked like a coincidence. NASA was still managing the fallout of a partial government shutdown that had delayed other projects. But as the ESA continued to release new imagery and new findings, the contrast became impossible to ignore. One agency was publishing evidence of a phenomenon that challenged basic physics. The other was silent, withholding every frame of its own data. 3I Atlas was discovered months earlier by the asteroid terrestrial impact last alert system in Hawaii. Astronomers classified it as a hyperbolic visitor, a body entering our solar system on a one-way trajectory from interstellar space. Nothing unusual there. We had seen it before with Oumuamua in 2017 and 2I/Borisov in 2019. But what made this new object different was how massive it appeared to be and how unnaturally steady its motion was. Early brightness curves suggested a nucleus tens of kilometers wide, with an estimated mass of over 33 billion tons. That made it hundreds of thousands of times heavier than the famous Oumuamua. Yet, despite visible outgassing, jets of vapor blasting from its surface as it neared the sun, its course showed almost no measurable wobble. Something was maintaining its stability. Then came the first anomaly. ESA's CASIS camera, designed to photograph the Martian surface from low orbit, captured 3I Atlas as a small but clearly structured light. The images showed what looked like a central core surrounded by a perfectly symmetrical halo. But when scientists analyzed the light polarization, the way the light waves were oriented, they found values no natural comet had ever produced. The polarization reached -2.77%, far beyond the expected range for dusty ice. To most people, that number meant nothing. To astrophysicists, it was a red flag. The light reflected off the object as if its surface particles were aligned, ordered, or metallic. Ordinary comets scatter light chaotically. 3I Atlas did not. In late September 2025, the European Southern Observatory began receiving inconsistent brightness readings. The object brightened, then dimmed, then brightened again with mechanical precision. Some speculated that this could be a rotation effect. Others noticed that the intervals between peaks were almost perfectly uniform. It was too rhythmic, too controlled. When the Hubble Space Telescope observed the same object, it found jets of material forming linear patterns instead of random plumes. The symmetry suggested a structure rather than a natural venting of gas. Each jet aligned along precise geometric angles. Nothing like that had ever been documented in a natural body. By October 2nd, the Perseverance rover on Mars caught a faint streak across the Martian sky. Calculations confirmed it was 3I Atlas, passing only 18.6 million miles from Mars. That proximity made it the closest interstellar object ever observed to another planet. Yet NASA issued no official statement. 5 days later, the ESA published their first processed images, confirming both the proximity and the unusual optical behavior. In those photographs, the coma, the diffuse gas cloud surrounding the object, appeared to form six-sided symmetry. It was not the random haze of ice and dust typical of comets. It was structured, with edges and gradients that hinted at shape. Researchers inside the ESA were cautious, describing it only as anomalous morphology. But outside analysts saw something else. The hexagonal pattern repeated across multiple exposures, taken at different times and angles. It was not an artifact of the camera, it was real. Spectral analysis revealed further surprises. Typical comet spectra show clear signatures of water vapor, carbon dioxide, and methane. 3I Atlas displayed these components, but in unnatural ratios. The carbon dioxide extended over 200,000 miles from the nucleus, while water vapor levels remained unusually low. Even more puzzling, the gas distribution appeared uneven, concentrated into narrow streams rather than spreading evenly. If the jets were natural, they should have come from random fractures across the surface. Instead, they appeared localized, as if emerging from specific points, like nozzles. Then came the alignment anomaly. The trajectory of 3I Atlas ran almost perfectly along the ecliptic plane, the same flat disk in which all planets orbit the Sun. For a random interstellar visitor, that alignment should be almost impossible. The probability of such a coincidence is less than 1%, yet the object's approach fit perfectly within the orbital layout of the inner planets. Even more curious, its direction of arrival was within 9 degrees of the point in space where, in 1977, a mysterious radio burst known as the WOW signal was detected. The signal that some once speculated could have been an intentional transmission. By mid-October, whispers began to spread across the scientific community. Could this alignment be chance, or was it deliberate? Was this simply a comet, or something designed to look like one? The ESA's continuing transparency only deepened the tension. They uploaded every frame, every spectrum, every calibration detail. Citizen scientists began processing the raw data independently. Some detected repeating light patterns in the tail, a faint pulsation that cycled every 21 minutes. Others found slight timing irregularities that suggested the object's rotation was slowing, then stabilizing. Meanwhile, NASA remained silent. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, capable of imaging down to 30-meter resolution, had been perfectly positioned to observe the object as it passed Mars. Yet no images were released. NASA's high-resolution feeds froze on October 2nd and remained inactive for more than a week. The timing felt too perfect. Just as 3I Atlas came closest to Mars, the only agency capable of capturing its surface details was offline. ESA officials insisted the shutdown was purely administrative. But among independent astronomers, speculation grew that something inside NASA had decided to withhold images until their authenticity could be verified, or until a narrative could be agreed upon. By the time the object crossed within 60 million miles of the Sun, the world's attention was fixed on a single question. What exactly is 3I Atlas? A frozen wanderer from another star system, carrying clues to the chemistry of alien worlds. A planetary seed, as some theorists propose, capable of jump-starting planet formation in young solar systems. Or something far stranger, an artifact designed to move between stars, disguising itself as a comet until the moment it was close enough to be seen. Whatever it is, one thing is certain: the closer it gets to the Sun, the stranger it becomes. And as the European Space Agency continues to release images, while NASA remains in silence, the sense of unease grows stronger with every passing day. For now, all we know is this: 3I Atlas is approaching perihelion, the point of closest approach to the Sun. No one can predict what will happen next. It could fragment like a comet, flare into brilliance, or change course entirely. No one is ready for what comes next. By mid-October 2025, the world had already seen what no one expected: crystal-clear images of 3I Atlas, a visitor from the interstellar dark, captured by ESA's probe cameras. But what came after those photos was even stranger. NASA, which had once led the world in deep space monitoring, remained almost entirely silent. Their official channels went dark, their data feeds paused, and even automated updates from JPL ceased without explanation. ESA scientists continued their work, sharing updates and high-resolution imagery that revealed sharp edges, reflective symmetry, and a distinct banding pattern across the object's surface. It was unlike any cometary body ever recorded. While scientists urged caution, the visual evidence suggested something engineered, or at least something reassembled. It was as if the fragments of another world had come together, traveling through interstellar space with a purpose we still don't understand. Outside the scientific community, the public filled the vacuum left by NASA's silence. Amateur astronomers began documenting small glints of light trailing the object, like fragments separating or engines flaring. Some thought these were just outgassing events. Others believed they were coordinated maneuvers. Governments avoided comment, but observatories across the globe confirmed that the trajectory had shifted just slightly toward the inner solar system. Not dangerously close, but close enough to be noticed. And that's where the mystery deepened, because each day since those photos were released, the reflected light of 3I Atlas has grown more stable, not less. Most comets flicker, tumble, or break apart under solar pressure. This one instead seems to adjust. Its rotation slowed, its shape sharpened, and its albedo, the way it reflects sunlight, became unnervingly consistent, as if whatever it is, it's responding to something. The most recent data from ESA's solar orbiter shows 3I Atlas now gliding just beyond Mars' orbital plane, not colliding, not escaping, holding a steady, deliberate path. There's no radiation spike, no energy burst, just an object moving with quiet precision through the darkness. No one can say what happens next. The next major observation window opens in late October, as 3I Atlas nears its perihelion, the point of closest approach to the Sun. If it disintegrates, we'll finally have our answer. If it changes course again, we'll have an entirely different question. For now, the world waits. Scientists keep their telescopes fixed, data channels open, and curiosity alive. The silence from NASA remains unexplained and absolute. And somewhere beyond the reach of our own technology, the interstellar traveler keeps moving, steady, unblinking, and silent. The final image ESA released shows a faint triangular reflection rippling across the object's midsection. It's subtle, almost invisible unless enhanced, but it's there. The photo was timestamped just hours before NASA's last transmission blackout, and after that, nothing. No further data, no official comment, just radio silence. In documentaries, in news, in science, there's always the hope of a final answer, a revelation that ties everything together. But with 3I Atlas, the truth may remain unreachable. Maybe it's just another cosmic fragment, tossed through the void by time and chance. Or maybe, just maybe, it's something older than any human concept of time, moving deliberately, silently, waiting to be seen. As of this moment, 3I Atlas continues its course through the inner solar system. ESA's cameras track it, the world watches it, and NASA says nothing. For now, one fact remains undeniable. Something entered our solar system, and it did not behave like anything we've ever known. And until we know what it really is, the universe just got a little more mysterious.